Hi everybody, Golden Era Bookworm here. Today I'm actually going to go back to reviewing books. I've received a request to begin reviewing Franco Columbu's books. I have most, if not all of them, I believe. And the first I'd like to review is Franco Columbu's, I should say Columbu, because that's his actual Italian, the proper way of pronouncing his Italian surname. His complete book of bodybuilding. Now this is by no means, would I say, as in-depth as Arnold's the new modern encyclopedia of bodybuilding. However, it is a good book. I'll start off by saying that. And Franco covers, of course, the basics that you would expect, the exercises, nutrition, etc. But he actually covers other aspects that I would probably say some other bodybuilders don't cover. Of course, the Bible of Bodybuilding by Arnold really does cover almost everything that I can think of. But there are some details here that I actually really enjoy. So let's go through it. I've got a hardcover, hard to get version, of course. You know me, always getting the good stuff. So let's get straight to it. Of course, in this book you're going to find lots of vintage photos of Franco. I mean, it is about Franco, of course. There's a foreword by his good buddy Arnold Schwarzenegger, as can be expected. There's great photos of both of them training throughout the book as well. Now, the introduction I'll skip through, but there's some pretty good chapters. The very first chapter basically covers a basic fitness program just to get you healthy. Very similar in that respect to the way Arnold presents his book. I think it's The Education of a Bodybuilder, where he gives you a basic health program. This is followed by a second chapter getting started on the bodybuilding lifestyle, which again offers some very awesome photos, and he goes through the basics, including what I like, his favorite exercises, which he calls number ones, which he basically says these are your fundamentals. These are the basic exercises you should always do, and it gives you the best results. On top of that, he really focuses on his friendship and training partner with Arnold Schwarzenegger. As you can see, there's a rather large section dedicated to it, and how you can basically help yourselves be the best of yourselves, and yeah, how training partners really can make you successful. The next section covers all types of training programs. Now, what I really like about this section is that this is unlike most other books, in that for the beginning level program in bodybuilding, he actually recommends the clean and press. That is so rare to see. I'm a big believer in that Olympic weightlifting should be done at the beginning for many athletes that want to become bodybuilders. It gives you a core, a fundamental start, a fundamental to strength that other exercises will simply not give you. This is the very, very old school way of training, and I'm really glad that Franco has that in his book. After that, you have an intermediate and advanced level programs, which of course would start incorporating things like the squat, the deadlift, the bench press, etc. And yeah, there's some awesome photos of, for example, here's Franco's T-bar rowing 150 kilos. It's just awesome, and watching him deadlift 700 pounds, incredible stuff. Of course, Franco was one of the strongest bodybuilders in history. He then starts going on about professional bodybuilding. He gives you his Mr. Olympia Blitz routine, which is awesome. Goes through some posing, as you can see. Even gives you the results of the 1981 Mr. Olympia there, for those that are interested. And he has a chapter on bodybuilding for women, and another chapter on bodybuilding and other sports, where he actually gives you specific programs for soccer, karate, baseball, football, whatever. It's pretty good. Now, for most of you that may or may not know, Franco Columbu is an actual chiropractor. And so he has a very nice section on sports injuries and prevention, as well as treatment. I really like this chapter. I don't think many bodybuilders actually have chapters like this, and I think it's necessary because injuries occur all the time when you're training. And so I think for people like beginners and novices, this is a fantastic chapter by a very experienced bodybuilder, of course. His nutrition chapter is also very good. For those of you that also don't know, Franco has a PhD in nutrition, so he really does know what he's talking about. And of course, after nutrition comes a very detailed, and I'll say again, a very detailed chapter on steroids. Now, he does say that he used them. He does give you the doses, for example, for Dianabol, how long to take it for, how to help the liver, in that you have to take B12, for example, and calcium to prevent damage. But he also gives his recommendations against it, of course, quoting some scientific and medical books where he actually basically says you shouldn't be taking them and what happens if you do, which there are many adverse reactions. Of course, I'm completely against steroids, and I'm glad that Franco, even though he is against it, he actually gives details for those that wish to use it, but he also clearly states that he's against them. It's a full chapter on that, as well as on other drugs. And of course, he finishes off with the benefits of bodybuilding for long life and how to achieve it when you're older. And I believe, yes, that I really like this section. He gives his estimations as to how much you can develop your muscle for depending on your age. For example, if you're 40 to 50, you can develop 90% of your potential, all the way to age 80, and after age 80 you can still develop 20 to 40% of your potential, which is pretty cool. So it really just tells you, get up and train. You've got nothing to lose, only everything to gain. At the end, there's a massive glossary of awesome vintage photos of Franco performing every single exercise that is mentioned in this book. I really enjoy this book. It's definitely a nice book to have. There's a section at the very end, an appendix on vitamins and minerals as well. If you're looking for a book that doesn't weigh 10 kilos, like Arnold's new Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, well, I would say that this is a pretty good book to own. I give it a thumbs up for sure. It's a great piece from Franco Columbu. That's my review on Franco Columbu's complete book of bodybuilding. Hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. This is the Golden Era Bookworm, your online a Golden Era library on YouTube. Thank you and see you soon. Bye.